When a friend of yours or an acquaintance makes a threat to commit suicide, if that person had already made previous suicidal attempts,
I've been asked on many occasions on why I wanted to do this documentary and why would I choose to do it on such a unhappy subject matter. A subject matter that maybe a lot of people might not want to watch because it's hard for people to face. But unfortunately, this is something that I have had to face many times in my life through my family and friends and coworkers that I've met along the way. And what I discovered was I wasn't the only one.
It was probably around when I was 8 years old that I started noticing that I was very angry a lot of the time, which is understandable. But the depression came in around the same age.
My biological father and my biological mother, they were like, they got divorced really early on in my life.
I first had to deal with this as a child when I was 15 years old. I was walking around my apartment complex, and my sister came up to me just running and just said, "We have to call 911, we have to call emergency. I think our mother tried to commit suicide." And she said that she had taken pills. She said, "What pills?" And she looked over on the floor and she goes, "All of them." 911 came and they took her to the hospital. They pumped her stomach. I'm grateful that somehow in this world that my sister did what she did.
I felt like I really couldn't be myself. Like, there was always something that disappointed him about me. I think he had a bit of a temper, and when he got really angry, he would punch me. And I was literally, I think, terrified of him. Just growing up, I was literally terrified of living in my own house.
the night that he chose to commit suicide, I had an invitation to go spend a slumber party with some of my friends that I'd known for years, and it was and so I told Sterling, "Hey, I'm going to go spend the night with my friends." And when I was pulling away from the car, I had started the car, and just as I was pulling away, it felt as if he was saying to me, "Mom, don't leave me. Mom, don't leave me." I mean, just, like, whoa, where's that coming from? I don't know where it was coming from, but it had happened to me. And I thought, "Oh, I'm just going to ignore this." And so I left.
Well, I never really thought life was too bad until later on when I was older. And I'd wake up in bed, and the first thought in my head was, why? Why did I wake up? Why didn't I just die in my sleep?
And then I came out and got ready to get in my sleeping bag, and there was a knock on the door, and a sheriff was there, and I grabbed my things and left for the hangar. Mike had found some rope. When I'd found the rope, it was such a hard rope. It was just painful to look at. And he'd tied it up on a rafter that was exposed.
And, that's what a lot of people don't get about depression, that it's not just feeling sad, it's not just feeling down. It's feeling, it's complete and utter despair.
My sister visited my mother in the hospital, and she asked her, "Why did you do it?" And my mother said, because she just didn't want to deal with the pain anymore. She felt a burden on our life, on our children's life, on her family's life, and she felt that if she left, she would be doing us a favor. And she didn't think that she was needed. She didn't think it would matter, and that we would be okay. And my sister said, "We will not be okay."
I just think that if you really did show someone that you give them your time, like really show them how much effort you're putting into them, like almost to the point where just like it doesn't have to be all the time. It just has to show some effort, you know, to actually caring about the relationships you actually have rather than just throwing them away.
Find a purpose, whether it's volunteering or, I don't know, even your job, but find something that gives you enjoyment. Find something that's going to let you leave a mark. What I did was volunteer at a wildlife rehab center, and no matter how dark my thoughts get, that one remembrance that my touch, you know, what I've done here will live on so long as brown pelicans exist in the world.
If I could tell my son anything, I would like to tell him that I'd like to have a chance to do this over again.
It's an uphill battle, and honestly, I can only say is urge them to seek help and let them know, you know, tell them you were there for them through their recovery and through, you know, whatever it takes to get treatment.
When I first embarked on this journey, I thought that it would be very easy to get a certified therapist to discuss the preventative measures of suicide prevention. What I did learn that the best means to get help for someone that you care that is suffering through suicide is actually by calling 911. Because by law, they have to take that person into custody if that person is a threat to themselves or a threat to others, and they will be evaluated by a therapist for 48 hours for them to begin to get the treatment that they actually need.
I hope that those who you know in your own lives will, that you will listen with a different ear now.
Time is probably the most important thing you could probably give to someone. And you know, I just think that people forget that.
Because every human being has a need to belong and to be understood. And if that person doesn't have a sense of belonging and being understood, you know, we all have had, well, most of us have had moments in our lives where we haven't been understood and it feels quite lonely, or we haven't belonged. And so when we know that there's a chance that somebody's going to actually take their life, take them away from whatever it is that's keeping them feeling unloved and misunderstood.
My mother made a vow in that moment to never do it again. For her, for us. And I'm glad she did. I see her smile now. That's something I didn't see growing up. She starts appreciating the little things, the little moments around us. And another thing, she hugs me now. The two of us being able to understand that we can connect and to be able to have that is just, it's strange, but we've actually become best friends. What I discovered on the course of doing this documentary is that 100% of the time, the reason why people chose to live, what got them to hold on for one more day, was actually the love, care, and attention of other people, either family, friends, co-workers, showing them that they will be missed, that they do matter, and inspiring them to stay a part of their lives.